What's up, everybody? Awkward Anxious Jennifer here. And it's Thanksgiving tomorrow here in America. I know not everywhere in the world. And it would be easy to be sad that I can't be with my family this year, but I'm taking a different tact this year. I had the idea that I wanted to sit down and talk about everything that I'm grateful for this year. Because really, in a world full of craziness, it's been pretty good for me personally. A year ago, I was so depressed I could barely function. I mean, I was still working, I was doing my full-time job and my freelance writing, but I was just, I was existing. I wasn't living. I wasn't suicidal, but I didn't really care if I lived or died. I just knew I couldn't keep living that way. And that was, I mean, I have bipolar disorder, so I've been through a lot of depression, so that's not new, but, that was one of the worst depressions I've been through. So something had to change. So at the beginning of January of this year, I cut my lease on my apartment and moved into my car for a while because I wanted to travel the country. And while that was a controversial decision that was not very popular with my family, it led me down here to Galveston, where I'm so much happier. I mean, just being here has been a big part of my happiness this year. I'm walking distance to the beach, so I'm getting out, I'm getting more sun than I used to. The ocean itself is very, I guess technically the Gulf, I don't know. Geography is not my strong suit, but just being down here and being on the island, and it's just, I mean, okay, yeah, I haven't gone out a whole lot lately because of the pandemic, but from what I experienced before things really got locked down, it's just a much slower, more laid back pace of life down here. There's not a lot of traffic. I mean, the whole island is only, a few miles long. And I love it here so much. And as we're heading into winter, it's the end of November and I'm still wearing shorts and most of the time no socks. Every once in a while on a chilly evening I have to put socks on before bed, but I still have not had to put on pants since April-ish, maybe. And winter has always been hard for me. So I'm hoping that a winter without snow or much cold will really be good for my mental health. So that's one thing I'm grateful for, is that I took this huge risk and leap of faith by moving into my car at the beginning of this year. And it led me here to where I'm so much happier. I'm so at peace here. I feel so at home here. That's the thing. I've always felt antsy to move on to the next place, see the next thing. I hated signing a year-long lease because it's like, God, I'm going to be stuck here in this place for at least another year. And down here, I couldn't wait to sign my lease extension because I love it here so much. I don't have that need to escape anymore. It's like I found where I belong. So that's one of the biggest things that I'm grateful for, is that I found Galveston. Another thing that I'm grateful for is my work as a freelance writer. Like most people, my finances have been kind of, my income has fluctuated a lot this year, and money management has never been my strong suit. But, I'm still surviving and getting by, and I'm so grateful that I am able to work from home. Because if I was still grooming when the pandemic hit, I would have been in a world of hurt. I know a lot of my dog groomer friends were. A lot of them couldn't work for like a month while places were shut. And then having to go back and try to work with a mask on all day and all these safety precautions, and yeah, I'm so grateful that my freelance writing has kept me afloat this year, more or less. And this last week or so has really been good. I got a big project from one of my best paying but most sporadic clients, and supposedly I will be getting more big projects from this big client, which would be huge if they actually follow through with that. And then just yesterday I just got a big name client paying 2.5 times the word rate of my next big paying client. And it's mind-boggling. And it's a big name website, and I'll get a byline. So that's really gonna even propel my career even further, to be able to have that on my writing credits. So I'm very, very grateful for my freelance writing career. I'm also grateful that I discovered MewGulf and Tarn Type, the series, and the waanjai community, and I have made so many great friends in this community on Twitter. In a year where Facebook has become really toxic, I don't know about for everybody, but for me, my Facebook page was just, as the year went on, getting more and more and more toxic, and I actually started to get upset every time I pulled up Facebook, to the point where now I'll post stuff occasionally, but I almost never read anything on Facebook. I can't spend any time on that app. So instead, I've been spending my time on Twitter, and 95% of my Twitter timeline is, MewGulf stuff. And I know some of you have no idea what that means. That's okay. It's just a fandom, for lack of a better word. And it brings me so much happiness and joy, and I look forward to waking up every morning to see what news I missed, because this fandom, a lot of the stuff, everything happens on the other side of the world from me, so a lot of exciting stuff happens when I sleep, so I'm excited to wake up every day. That's a new thing. I've always hated waking up in the morning. And I've made friends from all around the world. I have friends in Britain, India, Australia, and then acquaintances from everywhere. And in a year where I wasn't able to make local friends before everything got crazy, being able to have these friends all around the world, there's probably somebody awake anytime I want to talk to somebody. So that's been really a big deal for me. And I guess the last thing that I'm grateful for is that because my finances have fluctuated more than usual and went lower than usual for a while, it's really forced me to buckle down and make better decisions than I ever have, really. And, some of those decisions have not been easy, but it's making me stronger. It's making me a better person. It's making me stand on my own better and stop reaching out to family for certain kinds of help. And just all in all, this year it's been a good growing year for me, and I'm really in a good place to go from horribly, horribly depressed a year ago to now, this is the best my mental health has been in a long time. I have a lot to be grateful for this year. So even though I can't, go have the big family dinner tomorrow, I've been really, really good about not having any delivery food or fast food or eating out at all. So to celebrate A, Thanksgiving, and B, getting this new client, I'm going to treat myself to delivery dinner tonight from one of my favorite places, and just take the moment to just be grateful and enjoy life and whatnot. I forgot one other thing that I'm grateful for. I knew there was something I was forgetting. Because of the MewGulf waanjai fandom community, whatever you want to call it, I've really gotten back into fiction writing in a big way. And those of you who are not in that fandom have probably not read any of it, because you wouldn't really understand. But I haven't done any significant amount of fiction writing in 4 years, since I wrote my rough draft of my novel that will never see the light of day. And really, I haven't published any fiction writing ever. I've hardly written any short stories as an adult. Every once in a while I have a novel idea that I usually don't finish. And now I've done 5 basically short stories now, ranging from 1,000 to 5,000 words, I think, or 4,000, somewhere in there. And I'm also 30,000 words into a big project that'll be like a series. And it makes me so happy. And it's good practice too for, when I want to write a real novel one day, or short stories or whatever that I can actually publish and make money on. Because with fan fiction, you can't make money on that. And, it's just published on a website for other readers who want to read fan fiction. It's not something, can't make money on that, but it's such good practice for someday when I want to, take that next step. And also it brings me so much joy, and it's forcing me to focus on my work better too. It's like, all right, I have to crank out these projects today if I want to have the time to work on this fiction tonight. So anyway, I'm just babbling at this point. But anyway, I have a lot to be grateful for this year. So I wanted to take the time to say it out, because it helps me, like thinking gratitude is one thing, but actually speaking it is another. And I wanted to encourage all of you to take some time to be grateful for it too, to figure out what you're grateful for. Because this year has been rough on a lot of people, and for a lot of you it might be tough to come up with things you're grateful for, but hopefully you can come up with something. So anyway, this video is plenty long enough. I hope you all doing well. Be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, and I'll talk to you all later.